Assalamualaikum and good afternoon everyone. How are you? I hope everyone is doing good. Today, my group member and I will be presenting about an important topic titled Leadership and Management in School. First thing first, let me introduce my group members. My group members consist of 4 persons, which is Putri Nur Naziha, Nur Shaza, Nurul Nadira, and Nur Shahira. Today, we were talking about leadership and management in school and what do we mean by it and how it is different. We will also elaborately discuss about issues and challenges in Malaysia. Well, I tell you this topic sure can stir up a crowd because you have some people who think leadership is great and management is bad and vice versa. But the truth is, we probably all knew examples of leaders who were very influential who have really done some bad things in the world. We also think of probably some managers who were great and vice versa. So now, I want us to look at both of these and we want to sort through. We want to see what the differences are and I think you'll see why we really need a combination of both. Without wasting our time, firstly, let's talk about leadership versus educational leadership. Leadership is the action of leading a group towards common goal by influencing, developing, coaching, guiding, mentoring, and supervising people, while educational leadership is the process of enlisting and guiding the talents and energies of teachers, pupils, and parents towards achieving common educational aims. For example, looking at the school as an organization according to the system, the principal of the school will be the leader. Next, we move on to aim of educational leadership. So, basically, the educational leadership also have their own specific aim, which is to ensure academic success through process, material and training improvements. This is mainly accomplished through collaboration with different individuals such as educators, parents, students, public policy makers, and the public. Educational leadership in school. Educational leadership in school focus on vision, motivation, the future, the teams, and people in your school. So basically, it focuses on the person or the people within your school. Educational leadership in school collaborate process that unites the talents and forces of teachers, students, and parents. Lastly, it is centered on certain key principles, which consists of 5 principles. The 5 principles of educational leaderships are: firstly, to create a vision of academic success for all students that comes from various economical statuses and backgrounds. Secondly, it strives to maintain a safe and receptive learning environment. The leader of the organization must provide a comfortable, orderly, and also a standard classroom. Thirdly, it delegates responsibility to others, which means the responsibility of the leaders is to be responsible and accept accountability. Fourthly, instructional method and curriculum content must be continually improved, which means that the leaders must be always find things or issues to improve for better education from time to time. Fifth, field of education must borrow and adapt modern management tools, processes, and techniques. This principle can be related to our current situation, which when the whole world is facing COVID-19 issues, so that we need to change from traditional face-to-face classes to online classes and e-learning. Next slide we will be talking about 3 elements of educational leadership. Basically, there are 3 elements of educational leadership, which is: first, lifelong learning. It is a continuous process and students can use whatever they learned in the future. Secondly, an ecosystem of experiences. In my understanding, it is learning through experiences, practical, and empower them to realize their full potential as active contributors. Thirdly, inclusivity. Leaders who are aware of their own biases and preferences and actively seek out and consider different views and perspectives to inform better in decision making. So guys, let's learn about management. Management versus educational management. Management is process of dealing or controlling things of people. Emphasis thus to tend to be on things rather than on people. While educational management refers to administration of the education system in which a group combines human and material resources to supervise plan, strategies, and implement structures to execute an education system. Like what has been said by Amati in 2008, aim of educational management, primary objective of educating management, therefore, is the practical functioning in school environment through the effective harnessing of administrative tools under the guidance of transformational teacher leadership. To compare both leadership and management, for example, looking at the school as an organization according to the system, the principal of the school will be the leader. While in management, teachers, parents, alumni, and community members can serve as managers in the community and participate in the decision making in the school, as both leadership and management are essential for successful school development. For educational management in school, first, provide systems and processes essential to the smooth day-to-day running of the school. 2. One of a trilogy of overlapping concepts along with educational leadership. Third, complexity of educational management as a concept is evidenced by its inclusion of related but subsidiary through important notions such as ethic, culture, and diversity within differing educational systems. Fourth, purpose of educational management is to effectively and efficiently create and maintain environment within educational institutions that promote, support, and sustain effective teaching and learning. 4 major types of educational management. First, external and internal education of management. They are community members, specialists, experts, parents, supervisors, and all other agencies that create a suitable and sound atmosphere and help in moral ground. Next, centralized and decentralized education management. Centralized is the power used in one person, while decentralized education management divide power amongst leaders. Next, autocratic and democratic educational management. Autocratic is own decision making, which is one person, while democratic educational management is decision making being made with choices of other that more than one person. Lastly, creative educational management. It is the uniqueness of the head of educational institutions. Next, we move on to 8 simple components of educational management. 1. Educational planning. 2. Educational administration. 3. Educational organization. 4. Educational direction. 5. Educational coordination. 6. Educational supervision. 7. Educational controlling. And last but not least, 8. Educational evaluation. Instructional leadership. Instructional leadership skills are the traits possessed by effective educational leaders to inspire action and optimism. Instructional leadership, most commonly associated with school principals who manage curriculums, budgeting, and scheduling. They are responsible for the success of each student in their school. To become an instructional leader, one must set an example for others by treating people fairly. One must also be supportive of those around them and provide them inspiration, as well as strive to empower teaching to become one leader themselves.
Transactional leadership. What is the meaning transactional leadership? Which is a perceived result stay within existing structure of an organization's system of reward and penalty. It's largely based on exchange of rewards contingent on performance. Transactional leadership focuses on the leader-follower relationship. It is commonly used in education in the relationship between instructor and students. For example, students are required to complete project, assignment, or tests, and if they perform well, they will be awarded good marks or the ability to pass. Transactional leader. How they handling complex situations. For your information, education institutions are also complex organizations that have many, even competing internal and external factors that need to be considered while leading and making decisions. Transactional leaders have an over-reliance on a single approach and unwillingness to discuss or even consider the idea of others, which limit a leader's creativity and his ability to adjust if things go wrong. Without flexibility and willingness to change strategy as internal or external issues arise, transactional leadership is seen as less effective for complex educational organizations. And how about environmental readiness? It is important that educational institutions have a practical and useful leadership strategy to help navigate through environment change. However, in terms of environment readiness, transactional leadership is less likely to consider potential situational or environmental change in an organization because it focuses on leader-follower interaction and not external factors. Given this, where external factors are not considered, there is more of a chance that decision will be made without of factor being considered, leading to poor decision making. Okay, next, I will explain about characteristics of transactional leader. First, they tend to be inflexible. Inflexible is mean unwilling to change or compromise. Second, following rule. Third, opposed to change, which is disagreeing. Lastly, focus on short-term goals. Short-term goal is something you want to do in near future or is a goal you can achieve in a month or less. Transformational leadership. What is transformational leadership? A transformational leader is one who encourage others to find ways to grow and change. In education, this leadership style helps educators from teacher and administrator to counselor and coaches motivate each other to improve and innovate within their classroom. It can even help educators find solutions to conflict within their educational organization. For your information, educators can choose between two leadership styles, which is first, transmissional. This means that focuses on conveying information to students without inviting their participation. Second, transformational. Find way to students to share their viewpoint. This open communication then improves student understanding. Here are some specific advantages of this leadership style in education. There is 4 advantages, which is first, encourage different differences. Consider the following situation. An elementary school hire 3 math teachers. Each instructor uses the same lesson plan and curriculum, but each of them is different in an important way. A transformational leader wouldn't ignore this new math teacher's diverse skill and ability. Instead, a transformational leader would encourage this new instructor to share their unique insight. Second, foster participation in school decision. How does transformational leadership affect decision making in school? Example, suppose a superintendent is considering adjust the start time for middle school. They have heard that starting school 30 minutes later leads to better educational outcome for middle schoolers and wants to try this in their district. The superintendent could simply make this decision without any teacher input. Instead, hold a forum on the topic within the school district so educator, parent, and other family members can share thoughts. We can see that the superintendent is showing transformational leadership by encouraging individuals to participate. Third, emphasize moral communication and authenticity. Over the front entrance of a high school, hang a banner that reads "Speak Your Mind." Be part of the school community. But educators and students, as well as student family, don't believe the banner actually reflects their school real attitude towards speaking out. How would a transformational leader change this view? The leader could use traditional methods to encourage educators, parents, and students to share their feedback. For example, the school could create a suggestion box where students, parents, and educators share their thoughts and concerns. Suppose the high school used transformational leadership because leaders would understand the importance of authenticity and practicing what they preach. Encouraging listening to and responding to feedback show the school care about concern of teacher and student. Lastly, allow students to make their own decision and have autonomy. Teachers can always give students choice in the classroom or grant them a voice in every aspect of their educational experience. But when they get an opportunity to give students autonomy, it allows both educator and student to thrive. Okay, now I will pass to my friend to continue the presentation. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum to my lecturer and my fellow friend. My name is Nurul Nadira. So I will continue the presentation about novice teacher issues and challenges. Before I go further, let me explain what is novice. Novice is someone who has no experience in a skill, job, or situation. What is novice teacher? Novice teacher are beginner teacher in their first year of teaching with little or no previous teaching experience. As you can see in the slide, there are some statements that I take from article which teachers are said to have failed to adapt themselves to the school environment, instill knowledge and skill in their students, effectively use knowledge and skill in their lesson, class management and co-curricular activity, as well as not to being able to convince others of image they are supposed to carry as teacher. which is I strongly agree with this statement, where I believe we all has experienced this kind of situation during practical. So personally, for me, it is not easy to adapt to new environment. We, as a novice teacher, fell down when the expert teacher put the high expectation to us, but we failed to handle the situation. Is it true we has learned before when in class, but sometimes the situation happened was not the same. Okay, other than that, the issues surrounding novice teacher are when they face issue especially related to emotional work stress or their commitment to organization they are work with. So there are many more issues and challenge as a novice teacher that they have go through. So let me talk further on this topic. The first common issue or challenges are self-efficacy. What is self-efficacy? Okay, self-efficacy are the belief we have in our abilities and competency. While teacher self-efficacy, where teacher believe in their ability to effectively handle the tasks, requirements, and challenges related to their professional activity, play a key role in influencing important academic outcomes and well-being in the working environment. A person with high self-efficacy is more likely to feel confident, but different with someone with low self-efficacy, where they feel doubt in their self. People with low self-efficacy have weak aspiration that often result in disappointment and lack of self-fulfillment. Actually, self-efficacy keeps growing throughout life as we acquire new skill, new experience, and putting effort to success. How to overcome self-efficacy? First, try to get honest feedback from students. From that, you can see your weakness and try to overcome by practicing to be better. Second point is competency. Competency are the skill and knowledge that enable a teacher to be successful. Novice teacher competency at their school based on 4 aspects, which were identify, personal quality, teaching practice, involvement in co-curricular activities, and job management. Novice teacher should be able to show their ability to adapt school culture, work well with other people in carrying out teaching tasks, and their discipline. They also should demonstrate punctuality and carry themselves appropriately to reflect the image of teacher in the profession. However, it was reported that novice teachers give less importance to induction set and lesson summary in their teaching. They were also found to giving less motivation to their students compared to the experienced teacher. Novice teachers also prefer to work individually and rarely teach using demonstration technique. However, it is noted that novice teachers are skilled in technology. The third point is classroom and student behavior management. To build respectful relationship with students is a challenge for all teachers and especially for novice teachers that new to profession. However, the most important advice to novice teacher is try to create a learning center environment where all students feel part of learning community. Many novice teachers spend a lot of time creating and monitoring behavior compared to help our students understand that. Instead of concentrating on control and complaint, try to spend time and energy to be best of their ability to plan lessons that are active, engaging, and interesting lesson to the student.
Point number 4 is about professional development. Another key issue on novice teacher is the issue of professional development. Professional development are important to novice teacher because it will help teacher readiness. Besides attending programs such as seminar and workshop, novice teacher must undergo a more structured professional development program like narrative inquiry, lesson study group, and peer coaching so that they will be prepared to teaching in future. Common issue that always happen to a novice teacher is commitment and stress. As we all know, it is impossible to concentrate on the needs of others when we are struggling with our own personal needs. Both novice teacher or experienced teacher who just enter the school must feel the same thing, which is they need to find a suitable place to live, dealing with a personal relationship or emotional feeling. In order to have a teacher who is fully satisfied and full support as a human being, a mentor needs to assist with information and introduction. This is allow new educator to concentrate on the work they are doing. Last but not least is support. Another issue faced by beginning teacher or novice teacher is the support they receive. This issue find that novice teachers are highly motivated but need enough support from others. Novice teachers need to work with mentor to allow them to ask questions when they need, to trust and make them feel comfortable when they face problems. It is recommended that this mentor be appointed among senior teachers to ensure that novice teachers receive the necessary assistance in their professional development. So there are some common issues and challenges that are faced by novice teacher. I hope you all understand, but if not, we can discuss during presentation. That's all from me. So we will continue with our last presenter, Putri Nur Naziha. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to Dr. Hayati and my fellow classmates. My name is Putri Nur Naziha binti Megat Nasruddin, and I am the last presenter for today's presentations. In my part, we will discuss about the school management issues, especially in Malaysia. As we know, both primary and secondary schools encounter similar management issues and as a learning institutions. One of the main issues is the management of school managers, especially where their leadership and government is concerned. So, in order to achieve and become one of the effective schools, the management issues need to be improved. Managing a school and bringing together departments to achieve the mission is always a big challenge for school management. Now, let's look at the management issues that are facing by the school in Malaysia. Firstly, professional leadership and governance. Second, parental involvement in PIBG. Third, orderly and conducive environment. Fourth, technology. Second last, school and class size. And lastly, high academic expectation. So everyone, the first issue that we will discuss in school management issues in Malaysia is professional leadership and governance. It has often been observed that the head of the school is key factors in how effective the school is. For example, the leaders load to give instruction to the staff. Leadership is necessary to initiate and maintain school improvements. It is also about the role that leaders play, their style of management, their relationship to the vision, values, and goals of the school, and their approach to change. The leader is better than boss. Next, parental involvement in PIBG is one of the school management issues. Most of the parents do not have enough time to pay attention to their children's education life due to their busy life schedule providing for their family. For example, parents not attend during activities or programs organized by the school such as general meeting or interaction days. The third issue is orderly and conducive environment. An effective school maintains an orderly and safe climate which will contribute to a favorable environment in learning and teaching. Some schools have not achieved a conducive and safe environment for students. For example, incidents like bullying is very common in primary as well as in secondary school. So, to prevent this from keep happening, students are encouraged to participate in the learning process and engage in extracurricular activities that provided by the schools. Steps have been taken to keep an orderly and pleasurable learning environment in school by appointing school counselor and discipline teachers in every school. The next issue is school and class size. Many problems manifest in the large school sites with diverse differences among the students and are rather difficult to observe positive interaction between teachers and students. In such a big class size, majority of the students are passive listeners and class discussion cannot be well initiated. But if the small classes, the class size is far better off and it is associated with the increase in student performance. Many studies indicate that a small size class of below 20 students has been proven to be advantageous and efficient. So overall, that I can simplify about school and class size that students in smaller classes perform better in all subjects and all assessment when compared to their peers in the largest classes. It also, in smaller classes, students tend to be as much as 1 to 2 months ahead in content knowledge and they score higher on standardized assessments. And last but not least is high academic expectations. Every year, schools need to play an important role in academic improvement. It has often included in the definition a wide array of action, belief, and operational strategies. High academic expectation, one of the most important characteristics of effective school. So, we need to look back at teacher education as it can maintain and promote successful learning outcome. So, effective school must provide opportunity for staff and trained teachers to regularly enhance their skill to ensure that they can help their students to achieve all of the target in academic. Todd Whitaker said great teachers have a high expectation for their students but higher expectation for themselves. In conclusion, the school management in Malaysia still has a lot to be improved so that we can prepare and give our students a better learning environment in the future. Everyone must be participate to give a good result in processing to achieve the goals. The ways to be improved the school management is educate staff, monitoring the student, managing classroom and communication and technology. The association, the management, and even a small group need a leader to lead them and guide them to do something that can make sure the team achieve the target and also the goal that they have aimed. Thank you for watching and thank you everyone. Goodbye. Assalamualaikum.